Hello, anyone that's rolling in. Trying to get my camera mounted. Looks like I got it. There we go. There we go. Just hanging out, waiting for people to show up. Hello, someone showed up. How you doing today? To the person that's here right now, I don't know if you read the title, but I'm going to be inoculating some liquid culture jars I got down here with some live culture so that I can take one syringe and turn it into 30, and I'm going to do that 4 times. So I'm going to turn 4 syringes into 120 syringes of 4 different strains of mushrooms, and that is going to save me a lot of money. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I can't seem to get my camera situation sorted out in the mushroom farm. Maybe one day I will. That'd be nice. There we go. Let's see if it works. I hope so. Oh, now it's going to spin upside down. Okay. Looks like it's going to stay. But I was saying I'm going to inoculate some liquid culture jars with some liquid culture. Because right now this has nothing living in it. This liquid culture has been, or it's not liquid culture yet. Whenever I put this in it, it's going to be liquid culture. So I guess right now it can be called the liquid culture media. So all this really is just sugar and water, and it's been sterilized with a pressure cooker. And so right now there is absolutely nothing alive in this jar, but there is plenty of nutrition so that once something gets in there, it'll have plenty of food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about 10 cc's of the liquid culture, and I'm going to inoculate this jar, and the liquid culture will grow and, eat the sugar that's in the jar. And it'll start off as, 10 cc's of this. Eventually, in about a month, it'll colonate the entire jar. And then I can just take syringes out of this one. This is a self-healing injection port, so that I don't have to worry about contamination getting in there after I inoculate it. As long as I have my needles sterilized, nothing should be able to get inside this jar. It has a patch here, but it's a microspore filter. So that's because the mycelium needs a gas air exchange, because the mycelium is alive. Like the mycelium in this syringe right here is living. It is thriving inside of there. It is growing. And I'm going to give it a better environment. Oh, hey, yeah. I forgot about the chat. Once I start talking about this mycology stuff, I can get lost in it because I absolutely love it. I love mycology. I've always been really interested in gardening, and my grandma, Grandma Vern, she taught me, I'm not going to say everything she knows, but she taught me a lot about what she knows as far as gardening and just maintaining a healthy plant. So I paid attention when she taught me that stuff, so I actually learned. So I have a green thumb now, and I just transfer those skills over to mycology. So, like I said, once I start talking about it, I'll forget. So let me look at start cripping. I'm sorry, I'm not cool enough to do that. I'm growing mushrooms. I'm not growing shrooms though. I'm a legitimate business, a legitimate LLC mushroom farm. Bro, what's up? A dude and his dragons. Oh, that always happens. I can't. Well, I probably can. I just need to tighten the. There we go. Yeah. Probably nothing as cool as you, man. If you're hanging out with dragons, I'm not hanging out with dragons. Maybe if I was growing like the shrooms, I'd be hanging out with dragons. But unfortunately, that's not legal. Okay, okay, because I got a mustache. Awesome, dude. Love it. Hello from India. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I love people from India and India itself. I've never been though, but I've seen pictures and I really love the temples. I'd love to go. How are you doing, though, guy from India? Uruguay. That's awesome. Every time I do these streams, I get lots of people from, all over the world, and I absolutely love that. That is, like, so cool. Project Bluebeam. I'll look into it. Narendra mod? I guess not. Okay. Jokers. Like, seriously, guys. Step up your game. This is weak sauce. If you're, like, every time I stream, at least one person shows up and tries to troll. And it's like, what is it, like, mostly children streaming on YouTube that fall for that stuff? You're going to have to try pretty hard to get one of those past me. Yeah, I don't know anything about Indian politics. I don't care to know either because it doesn't affect me. At least not right now. If it does start affecting me, I'll look into it. Drinking coffee. Okay. So, something you need to keep on deck when it comes to mycology is hand sanitizer. Like, I'm surprised my hands aren't dried out husk with how much I use. I need to take off my rings, don't I? I got a little Bucky jewelry holder. Well, he's not a jewelry holder. He's a phone stand, but I use him as a jewelry holder. I put my rings on his little arms. Like that. Come on, Bucky, pull your shirt down. We don't want to see your stomach. There we go. And then I throw my watch over his torso. Over his torso like so. Sorry, I should have done this before I started streaming, but... Ta-da! Look. Doesn't he look like Chewbacca in the old Star Wars movies? I guess the last one where they're getting the medals and Chewbacca's standing there with the silver. I know this is gold, but I don't know. I just think of it every time I throw this on little Bucky. Next step is putting on gloves. Black gloves, very cool, I know. You don't have to tell me. Love your mustache. I want to have the same. Hey, it takes For me, personally, it took until my late 20s to really be able to grow one, and until my early 30s to be able to grow this one. Guess how old I am? Early 30s. So as soon as I was able to, I grew out the mustache. And the beard still grows in pretty patchy. I try to push it back to cover any spots. But compared to what it looked like 2 years ago, this might as well be lion's mane. Speaking of lion's mane, one of these live culture syringes is lion's mane. I'm going to be inoculating one of these jars with it. People have serious problems with my hair in this chat. I don't get it. I like my hair. If you don't trust me, that's fine. You don't have to trust me. I mean, I wouldn't trust a guy like me with the black gloves. I'd be like, if I ran into myself in an alley and I had these gloves on, I'd be like, I'm going the other way. I'm going the other way, and I'm going to be whistling the entire time as loud as I possibly can. So even though these gloves were packaged and they shouldn't have any kind of contamination, I'm still going to use the hand sanitizer just to be safe. Yeah. Hello from Russia. Oh, Raj is back. Well, if you're just going to be spamming that again, Raj, you're gotta go. Sorry, dude. Okay. If I'm still oh man, I muted the wrong person. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm still very new to this. I apologize to the person. If you're here in 30 minutes and you speak up, I will apologize to you when you can actually respond. I apologize to that person that I timed out. It wasn't meant for you. It was meant for Raj. Yo, what's happening here? I'm inoculating some live culture media with live culture, so that it can become live culture itself and graduate from being media into live culture. I know that was a very redundant sentence, but I just felt like it. Felt like being redundant. So one problem that I would run into whenever I first started my mushroom farm is, for some reason I will never be able to explain, I thought I would be able to just keep up with what I inoculated and like which strain was in which tub or bags. I don't know why I thought that. I've never been able to keep up with stuff ever. So I got a label maker. It's a dino label maker, but this is my company name, Hyphaenation. So I didn't want to advertise dino, so I put my company name on the top there. And I'm going to label the jars so that I actually know what's inside of it. What? You know nothing of my boyfriend. He actually doesn't have arms, buddy. White guilt culture. You people, I don't even think you know what you're talking about. But I'm not shy about timing people out. I don't have time for people spouting meaningless gibberish in my chat. Like, life's too short. Seriously. Oh, I keep freaking muting the wrong people. I am so sorry. I need to find someone I can trust to moderate. Dude, I'm so unattractive that I was an altar boy for 7 years and didn't get molested. Well, chances, like, maybe it was just one of the good Catholic churches. Like, I'm not gonna, sit here and tell you that you're not unattractive. I don't know you. You know yourself better than I do, but maybe Father McNally was actually following the teachings of God and stuff, But probably not. You probably were just too ugly. Like, can they really be choosy? Maybe they can. Maybe they can. But y'all are distracting me. I'm here to inoculate jars. That's why I came to this party. Why'd you come to this party? Okay, ask it. I'm doing a project at university on correlation between testosterone levels and anogetic alopecia. Basically, it's an age-old question, but often should an average man engage in sexual activity? How often should a man, like, as much as they want, as long as both people consent, it doesn't matter. So, as much or as little as a man or a woman wants to, or anything in between, as long as all the parties involved in the sexing consent. That's the answer. That's always the answer. It's always been the answer. Yeah, the more testosterone you have in your system, you go bald quicker. Like, one of the treatments for male pattern baldness is estrogen, like synthetic estrogen. But I'm not insecure about going bald. Here, you can look at it all day. I'm cool with that. That's not consent then. So what's the first one going to be? It's 4 different strains of mushrooms here. Since I have not used the syringes yet, like any of these, they're already pre-sterilized. Usually what you would do if the if the needle had already been used, you use a torch. This one might be out of, this one's out of juice, but it's a torch lighter. And you can use them, or you use them to sterilize the needles before you inoculate grain jars or bags or liquid culture. Because, like, just in between the needle coming out of the jar and back into the protective cover, like, that's enough time for contamination to get on there. It is crazy. Contamination is so... it contaminates, and it's microscopic. You can't see it. So it's not like something you can see and say, oh, that's going to cause contamination because I can see the germs on it or something. It's like, no. You can take all the steps that you think or know are necessary, and you could still end up with contamination. Unfortunately, I'm going to refill this if y'all are wondering what I'm doing. Unfortunately, sometimes a spore syringe or a liquid culture syringe can come to you pre-contaminated, and you would have no idea because it just looks like a normal spore syringe or a live culture syringe. And a month after you inoculate a grain jar or a grain bag, oh, what's that green in there? Oh, what's that black in there? And there's no way it could have, gotten contaminated in the process other than the syringe came contaminated. Now, I don't ever inoculate cubensis. If it was legal where I lived, I would. Like, I don't think that psychedelic mushrooms are harmful or dangerous. Well, maybe they are dangerous. You know, like, if a young person does them and they don't know what they're in for, it could, like, it's not going to kill them, but it could be very stressful. But unfortunately, they are illegal. And I don't really get why. Especially since, like, if you look online, people are just growing and selling them like they are legal, but I'm not willing to take that chance. I want to actually build a legitimate business, like a legitimate LLC, where I don't have to worry about the cops coming up in my mushroom farm looking for psychedelic mushrooms, because they're just not going to be there. But if they were legalized, I would have no problems growing them. I would, but like I said, with the current laws, it just can't do it. But hey, who knows? Next 4 years, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Doing this thing. There we go. So you use torch lighters to sterilize needles after they've been used once. I love this thing. Like, I ordered it from China and it took a couple of months to get here, but I love it. Okay. So, we got the needle. We got the jar. And we got the label maker. So let's make a label before we do anything else. This one is Turkey Tail Liquid Culture. Looks good. Last label I made was for the label maker. I'm a smoker, so like, I get out of breath pretty easily. Kids, don't smoke. Don't vape either. It's a gateway to smoking, I think. So turkey tail. And then spread it out. Ooh, fancy. Super fancy. It's like we're living in the future. Got it labeled. I suck at taking the stickers off of the back of these labels. It's two pieces. It's not just one piece. So it's just annoying. But it's no big deal. Let me see. I'm going to reorient the camera. Okay, I don't care what you think. You can think I grow cubensis. There's a kid that likes to hang out around here that thinks I'm growing meth. I don't know how you do that, but that's what he thinks. And every time I gotta ban him, or at least I time him out for 24 hours, because it's like, okay, maybe tomorrow he'll actually realize that you don't grow meth out in fields. I don't know. He's probably a troll, but I ain't got time for that. So I just mute him, or, time them out. So, see my meth syringe with my meth liquid culture jar? Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Does this not have a syringe on it? Or I don't think it does. It doesn't have a needle. Oh. I thought these were ready to go. Guess not. Currently none. I just started the business in November. So that's why I've been streaming. It's me getting the business started and getting everything rolling. And, you know, I want to document the process of like getting the business started and teaching people about mycology and stuff like that. So currently none, but hopefully in the future a lot, at least a moderate amount. I have already partnered with a company, so that is fortunate. So we're going to make CBD and mushroom products, mainly turkey tail and lion's mana, or lion's mane. I hear people say it both ways. Yeah, I don't deny that for a second. If you were born in America, you were born privileged. Like, I understand that there are people in America that, you know, were born into crap and their whole life is crap. But on average, if you were born in America, you were born privileged. Like, let's be real here, people. Oh, I just shitpost. That's cool. But for real, after listening, defo good luck to you, man. Straight up. Thank you. And hopefully any economic or business endeavors that you try in your future, I wish you success as well. Thank you, Scene Elms. Sean. Is it? That's Sean, right? Can you get over it? Like, why would I shave because someone in my chat told me to? Right? Like, what? Does my hair affect your life in any way, shape, or form? You can come to America if you get a passport, dude. I'm not going to let you sleep on my couch, but as far as I'm aware, you can come to America. You know, your mileage may vary depending on what's on your record, but generally, we let people in. We just kick them out eventually. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you saying that. I suck at opening packages. You know, I put on the gloves too early. Taking the gloves off. We're getting serious. We're taking the gloves off. What was I doing? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Opening a sterilized needle. Do you have any university in mind that you would like to complete your master's at? Well, that just depends on a lot. Sometimes it's fast. If you are rich, you can become a citizen in an afternoon. But if you're just coming over here, getting a job, getting your master's degree, it'll probably take about 5 years. You'll get your green card in like 2 or 3, But then to actually become a citizen, at least 5, but you're probably looking at 10 years. That's, of course, as far as I'm aware. I am not an immigration lawyer, so, you know, don't take me for my word. I have, general knowledge, like a general idea of how long it'll take. But, you should always look into stuff more on your own. You can go for it. Lots of Mexicans do it, and, people from other countries. As long as they're actually here for amnesty and they're, you know, that's fine by me, but you're not going to have a lot of luck. I know that you said you're kidding, but I still wouldn't recommend it. And it's not because I'm like one of those super strict border people. Like, I believe in a global economy and free travel and stuff. So that, I'm saying that because you would have better luck with other options, I believe. Like to become a citizen. If you want to just get in, then yeah, go for it. Okay. It's the one part off. Let's screw the needle on. Got the needle on now. So, all I need is 10 cc's or 1 milliliter or something like that. I only need to go down to the 1, and within a month, that'll colonate this whole liquid culture media and become just straight up liquid culture. And then this is 30 of these. So it's a way to keep the mushrooms just going. Like, so you'll always have some liquid culture going. You can always start a new batch of mushrooms and like keep production rolling. I just started my business back in November, but I've been watching YouTube videos about it for the better part of a year while I, came up with the plan and all that good stuff. And, I was just interested in mycology, and at a certain point I was like, I feel like I could do this for a living. Like, if you were here earlier in the stream, you heard me talking about how my grandma Vern taught me everything I know about, taking care of plants out in nature or maintaining a garden, and I was always really good at it. I took up on it or took to it pretty quick, like from a child, and I retained all the knowledge that she passed on to me. And the growing mushrooms isn't that different. It is different, but it's something that I knew I could do, and I've been doing for a little bit, and I've been successfully, not as far as business goes, I haven't had any products hit the market yet, but just as far as being able to grow some mushrooms, I've done pretty well. But I have had a few instances where contamination has ruined a tub or two of turkey tail or a bag or two of lion's mane. It sucks because it's a lot of work. And once it's contaminated, like it might fruit one time, but you're not going to get 2 fruits out of the mushroom cake. Okay, now let's do this for real this time. I'm sorry. So I'm going to pop this off. I'm only going to put a little bit. So I need to go from the 10 to the 9. Just a little touch more. There we go. Now, the next time I use this needle, I'm going to have to sterilize it with this or any other kind of torch, because just that short amount of time it was exposed to the open air is enough time for it to become contaminated. And the easiest way to sterilize it is just a torch, flame. Oh, I'm sorry. So my turkey tail is inoculated. My jar is labeled. I still have plenty of liquid culture to just start some tubs or bags of mushrooms, whatever I decide. And I'm going to get 30 more of these off of that one small injection. This will become 30 more of these. That is so cool. It's alive in the syringe, like the mycelium in there is alive right now. Eating, breathing, living, chilling out by the pool, so to speak. So we got the turkey tail. Now, I probably do want to invest in a mini fridge because you want to keep these in a refrigerator. So I am going to bring them inside my house and put them in the refrigerator. But eventually I am going to get a mini fridge for out here. And I only need a mini fridge because I'm only going to put stuff like this and syringes in it. So it won't be, like, I'm not going to keep food and drinks and stuff. So that's the turkey tail. Turkey tail. Turkey. Y'all should check out the videos or the shorts on my channel of me playing with Darcy. She has a turkey toy that she really likes, and I like it as well. And I make some pretty funny voices whenever I play with her, with the turkey. And you should go check it out after the stream. Or right now, I can't tell you what to do. You are your own person. So what do we got next? Shiitake. I suck at pronunciation. So if someone can phonics it out in the chat, that would be awesome. But shiitake. Yeah, I don't honestly know that much about this mushroom. I mainly know about turkey tail and lion's mane, but I know that people, companies put them in their products. So I'm going to make a liquid culture jar. I'm going to grow it. If the people like it, if the people want it, who am I? Who am I to deny the people what they want? Nobody. That's who. So I'll give them what they want. Within reason. Because what people really want are psychedelic mushrooms, but those aren't legal. Maybe one day. Like, I could be wrong about this, but I remember hearing about them getting legalized in Portland or Colorado, and I said Portland, but I meant Oregon. But maybe it was a city thing. Maybe it wasn't the whole state. But I think I heard they re-criminalized it. I don't know if they had problems, like people were freaking out and jumping off a hotel room or hotel building. You know the classic LSD story. Oh, this college kid, he thought he could fly, so he jumped off the top of a building. And it's like, oh no. That one idiot ruins it for everybody. Isn't that always the case, though? I don't have an Insta, actually. This right here, YouTube, is the only social media I have. But you can talk to me right here. I'm going to be streaming more often. I'm more than happy to talk to you. A Japanese mushroom. I would suggest growing illegal mushrooms on stream. I wouldn't. Okay, yeah, me too. So I'm not. Like, I'm not. Everything I got in this room, I know you can't see everything, but everything I got in here is from North Spore. All of my equipment, my cultures, my equipment, and my cultures. I don't know. I'd have to get into the specifics, but my equipment and cultures all come from North Spore. And if they're selling illegal stuff, well, the FBI or the law enforcement need to go talk to them, not me. Twirl the stash, okay. Yes, yes, I'll grow psychedelic mushrooms on stream, but I'll pretend they're legal mushrooms. Yes. Oh, see, once I start twirling the mustache, I just start ruminating about my dastardly plans. You tricked me! But it's 3:03 a.m. here and I gotta go to bed. Look, I told you I'll be around. Please shout me out. Yeah, okay. Okay, buddy. Totally. Maybe Guild will do it. Shout them out. Shout them out, Guild. It'll really make their day. Do it yourself. Do your vocal cords not work? Putting the needle on the syringe. I should make a label, shouldn't I? Shiitake. Okay. If I actually sound it out, I can pronounce it right, but I'm such a lazy reader. Like, you ever just glance at something and think you read it, and then a little bit later down the road, you're like, no, I didn't read that at all. Turns out, I just glanced at it and assumed what it said. I'm really bad about that. But I tried, I used to be really, really bad about that. Now I'm just bad about that. Hopefully one day it'll, it's like I'm kind of bad about it, but it's not a big deal. But right now, one day at a time, right, people? Okay. And I spelled it wrong. Lazy reading, lazy writing too. Oh, there's a whole nother. I don't know if it's just mirrored, but yeah, I spelled it wrong. Da, 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 da. Got the jar labeled. Now let's shoot it up. Anybody here listen to Tool? Their Fear Inoculum, their last album. I was about to say new album, but that album came out like 5 or 6 years. The song on the album is called is really, really good. I would like to have $500. Please give me $500. I'll buy more liquid culture and syringes. Like all $500. Just so I can have it in stock. Oh wait, I haven't gotten monetized yet. Dang. Oh well, maybe next time. Whoever gets it, good for you. And thank you, Don Toysy 777. I appreciate it. I love my mustache. I haven't found the best way to do this on camera yet. Probably actually setting up a table where the camera, I could set stuff down, but we're not there yet. Maybe next stream. Maybe next time I need to inoculate some jars. The next thing I'll have to inoculate will be some grain bags with lion's mane and some grain jars with the turkey tail. And I'm going to look into what the shiitake, what it likes to, like substrate it likes to grow on and colonize. And I have another one here, and we'll find out together what it is. I run a very, very professional business where I know everything that's going on, right? Totally. Yeah, totally. There. Once again, I'm only going to go down to the 9. I'll probably go below the 9 because it's hard to get it right on the money. See, I'm going to plunge again and it's going to go down to the 8. That's fine. You can inoculate a grain bag or a grain jar with just the same amount that I put in the liquid culture media just now. And you could have a whole bag colonnaded. Look, you can already see the mycelium in there. That's going to just grow and grow and grow over the next, until the jar's empty, but you'll be able to see the real big growth in the first month. And I will, of course, update everybody. Make sure this is secure. That's the second one. We got 2 more to go. Shiitake. I think that's it. Shiitake. Been trying to sound it out in my head. Is this the turkey? Oh, that's the shiitake. It must be. Okay. On to the next one. Let's see. What is it? What is it? Shave the hair, though. Why do you people want me to shave my hair? What's the deal? Like, what's the deal? I don't get it. It's my freaking hair. It's not your hair. Is those drugs? Yes, it is drugs, and I'm live streaming myself with it. I'm going to shove this syringe in my veins on YouTube. That's how smart I am. Yeah. I love you people. Like, think 2 steps ahead. Like, ask yourself a question. Before you ask me a question, ask yourself a question first. And then, based on the answer, then come to me with your question. Good. I love the cops. I'm friends with the cops. I live in a small town. I know all the cops and firefighters and EMTs. It is, I think it's on Earth, last time I checked. But I could be on Mars this week. I'll have to look into it. Ooh la la, Doom Skull, or Skull of Doom. Ooh. Bring it on, sexy. Thank you, slave, or meet your grave. I like to think I'm rather humorous. Some people don't get it, but the people that do love it. I'm gonna bust out an old Mitch Hedberg joke. This is for the old heads in the crowd. Man, whenever I meet people, they either love me, they hate me, or they just think I'm okay. Those that get it. Or recognize it. It's not hard to get. But it is a callback to an old comedian that's no longer with us. I like your shirt. Thank you. Unfortunately, I was wearing the short shirt when I was doing the insulation and stuff in the shed and also working under my canopy. So it does have like a couple of holes and stains in it. But it's a work shirt and I'm working. So that's why I'm wearing it. But thank you. I appreciate that. I really like this shirt too. There we go. Which one is this? This one is the lion's mane. This is my favorite. I love this stuff. So, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so take that into consideration. You know, this isn't medical advice. But lion's mane, it like, I haven't taken any today, so please don't take this as an intended advertisement, but it increases neural activity in your brain. Like, it increases the amount of neurons that are firing. I like to use it when I play D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, because it's a very creative game. I'm sure anyone that's played it knows that. So whenever I'm faced with a situation in the campaign and I need to think about what's a clever way out of it, if I take some lion's mane and maybe smoke a little bit of weed, I can, you know, it helps me think through the problem. Like, lion's mane is what, hey, my Joe Rogan fans, alpha brain, bro. That's basically what I'm going to be trying to make. That's what my business is going to be, or at least the main thing. But I do want to get into wellness because the turkey tail is really interesting stuff. It reinforces the cell walls in your body. And every single little last piece of you is made of cells. So why wouldn't you want to reinforce the cell walls, right? I think so. Washa dude. I don't know what that means. If a quiz is quizzical, riddles, right? Riddle me this. Why are you wasting time in my chat? Huh? If you got questions about me or mycology, please ask away. But if you're just going to freaking do riddles and what are they called? Whenever you get someone to say like, D's nuts, like those things, they're not riddles. They're more like word games, I guess you could say. Do that in someone else's chat. We're good here. We got better things to do with our time. Our time on this earth is precious. And it's very short. It's way shorter than we think it is. So why would you be spamming some random guy on YouTube's chat with dumb? Just dumb. Like, that's what you're doing. You're spamming dumb. So, like, don't you have better things to do with your time? You have so little. We all do. There's better things to do with it. And I know you can point that at me, but I'm not sitting around some random YouTube chat. I am the YouTube chat. You know, if it wasn't me, for me, you wouldn't have this chat to make a mockery of. What am I actually doing right now? I am not inoculating liquid culture media with liquid culture, because one of these off of 10 milliliters of this turns into 30 of these. So I don't have to collect my own spores and like live culture, and it's like the business efficient, streamline the process type stuff. I need to make a label for this jar before I inoculate it. My super duper fancy label maker. Yeah. 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 Got the label. Got the syringe opened. Or the needle open. Got the syringe. Gonna take this cap right here off. Where's the patient? I'm going to try to stop it at the 9, but I'll probably go below it. Did I hit it? Just a little bit more. There we go. I actually got that one right on the money. So the lion's mane is inoculated. I have a jar of lion's mane liquid culture in my refrigerator inside, but I wanted 2 of them because it's my favorite mushroom, and I plan on incorporating that into everything I do. Because who doesn't want some more neurons firing? If the world is anything like I perceive it, they need it. They need more neurons. No, I'm not a scientist. I'm a mycologist. Yes. And I can prove it. I can prove I'm a mycologist. Would someone who's not a mycologist have a mycology toolkit? I don't think so. I don't think they would. So, I'm a mycologist. Maybe one day I can be a scientist. But, I mean, like, I'd have to go to school. Like, this, I just had to grow mushrooms and I can call myself a mycologist. Like, if I wanted to be a scientist, I'd have to, like, study. This is my super cool foraging knife for foraging mushrooms out in the wild. It has a cool curved blade for doing proper cuts. And it has a little broom on the bottom so you can dust it off and pop it in your mouth and, go look for more mushrooms, I guess. Or take a picture. Or maybe you just like dusting off mushrooms. Maybe you don't even use the blade. Maybe you have never opened the blade once. You just walk around the forest looking for mushrooms. Yes, yes, yes. You do it for the fairies, right? Like fairy circles and, something like that. You're like, maybe if I dust the mushrooms, the fairies will favor me, and then I'll have fortune or something. I don't know. I don't know what you do when you're out there in the woods. That's none of my business. That's your business. That's between you and the fairies. And I don't stick my nose where it don't belong. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I have no excuse. I was going for Raj, which that means Raj should be showing up any minute now. But I'm glad you're back, and I'll try not to do it again in the future. I know I betrayed your trust, but I'm going to rebuild it. I don't care what it takes. So, that's lion's mane inoculated. Right? I inoculated, right? Yeah, right? Yeah, because I got it dead on the money. I actually did it right that time. Well, I did them all right, but you only need 10 milliliters. So, I mean, you could do it all at once if you want the jar to colonize quicker. But I'm going to inoculate some grain bags and some grain jars later on. I'll probably stream it. No worries. It's really fine. You're new to it. No stress. I'll try not to stress it out or stress out over it. Just like you said, I'm still new, so thank you for understanding. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you sticking around for 30 minutes for the timeout to lift. That's really cool. That's really awesome. That tells me I'm actually doing something worth watching for 30 minutes if someone were so inclined to do so. I was actually able to keep someone's attention for that long, and that means a lot. I have taken a spore print before, but I really don't have any reason to other than, like, if I ask a friend, like, hey, do you want a spore print? Then they usually ask, what would I do with it? Like, nothing. It's just the spores on a piece of tinfoil. And usually they'll be like, yeah, sure. So I'll make them for those people. But, like, I don't just do it for fun. But, I've done it, and I'm open to doing it again in the future. Thank you. It's fun. Yeah. Growing mushrooms is a great hobby. It started as a hobby for me with the lion's mane, and then it turned into something I was like, can I do this as a job, like as a career? And I looked into it. It's like, yeah, totally. If you want to make some Alpha Brain style products, you can do it. And then if you're so inclined and you have enough, not storage. If you have enough room, you can grow mushrooms in bulk and sell them to companies that make stuff like Alpha Brain and different wellness supplements. So, like, if you just, wanted to grow mushrooms for no particular reason other than growing what the companies want grown, you can do that too. There's a lot of different ways to make money in the industry. Hello. Aditya? Man, I'm so bad with names. My name is so simple. I'm not going to say it, but my name is so simple, and I think it set me up for thinking names are going to be simple for everybody. No. Especially on YouTube where you got people from all over the world. That could be a very American name and I'm just ignorant though. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's Cody. So just real simple. I hate it. I hate my name, but it's not a big deal. Like, it's grown on me as I've aged, but when I was in my 20s, I felt like just my name would make people not take me as serious as I felt like they should. But I think that was all just in my head. And since I've hit my 30s and, participated in more stuff where people would need to take you seriously, people do take me seriously. So, like I said, it was all just in my head. So while I'll still say today, like, oh, I hate my name, I recognize it for what it is. It's a insecurity from my past that I haven't fully let go of. And hopefully that can change one day and I can just be like, I love my name. Or I could change my name to something I do love. There's options. Thank you! I got so many people in this chat yelling at me to shave. Ugh, and I'm just like, I don't want to. Sorry, I'm kind of out of breath. I smoke cigarettes. Like, it's a bad habit. I hate it. It's nasty. So whenever I'm in a hot room, a humid room, I got space heaters, and I got humidifiers in here. So it is getting kind of stuffy. So yeah, I just get out of breath when I talk a lot. Okay, I'm going to do the last jar, and then I'll probably hang out for another minute or two. And then I'm going to go do something else. I'll probably play with Darcy. She's my corgi. After this stream, everybody here should go check out my channel. I have shorts up on my channel of me and Darcy hanging out and playing. Last Thursday, she got attacked in my yard by a gray pit bull. I had her on a lead out back. If you go to my channel, you'll be able to see the lead I'm talking about, because all the videos of me and her outside are on it. And I was vacuuming the house, and while I was doing that, I noticed a gray pit bull in my yard. So I chased it off, and then, afterwards I was like, I need to go check on Darcy. So I went around back. It was on my side yard. I saw it through the window. And sure enough, Darcy got bit in the face by this freaking pit bull. That was off the leash, of course, not in a fence. I have a fence in my front yard, and in my backyard I have a lead. So Darcy can run around a little bit, and I can throw the toys, and she'll have more room to run around. And I've never had a problem with her being out there in the past. But as soon as I saw that bulldog, I had a bad feeling, and unfortunately I was right. So I gathered her up and I went to the vet immediately, got her eyes checked out. She got bit in the face, like right here on her eye. It looked like the top tooth probably went right down here, because that's where she had to get a staple, and it's right under her eye. And I'm going to go get it removed tomorrow. Whenever I initially brought her up there, they put this glow-in-the-dark liquid in her eye. I had never seen it before. And they got a black light, and they scanned her eye to look for any cuts or lesions or whatever in the actual eyeball itself. Thankfully, she didn't have any damage there. So she did have to get one staple under her eye. And I got her antibiotics and pain medicine. And I've been, of course, especially with the antibiotics, you have to keep on the regimen. Otherwise, you're doing yourself or the dog a disservice. So just always remember that. Always. But I put some shorts on my channel after we got back from the vet, just explaining what happened or how she's doing, and if you want to go check them out, they're there for you. And some other videos of me and her just playing and having fun. God, why do they make these hypodermic needles so hard to open? I don't get it. I'm joking, by the way. See? That's what sucks about being a man. I don't have long fingernails, so I'm over here with my little nubs. That's the only, bad thing about being a man. Everything else is Gucci. I think that's a saying. I hope it is. I might have just embarrassed myself. I will sometimes. You can look at them and see how much humidity is in the tubs. As long as my substrate is at field capacity, I really don't need to water it, which you should never water it. You should spray it, like with. And I'm pretty sure you said spray, so that quotation sarcasticness wasn't meant for you. This is what I use to mist my tubs when they do actually need it. I'll put 3 parts water, 1 part hydrogen peroxide, and I'll mist just the surface of the substrate and the mushrooms with this. And the peroxide will kill any potential contaminations that are already present. And the moisture moisturizes. So, and it's like automatic. Look at this thing. It's a lazy man's mister. And like I said, there's 1 part peroxide, 3 parts water. Too much peroxide will actually damage the mycelium, but a little bit of peroxide will just damage the bacteria, aka contaminations. Done. Yeah, I've saved a couple of tubs. Like, you can see contamination. And you really don't want to stress out the mycelium too much, but just a little bit of peroxide, not a lot. With, of course, like I said, 3 parts water, 1 part peroxide, 3% peroxide. It should clear up the contamination if you'd be able to overcome the trick. But you spray the surrounding area of the mushroom cake with the peroxide and water, and it'll clear out the contamination. That's cool. Yeah, I've had some pretty bad contaminations that because just a little bit of contamination, the cake will still fruit and produce mushrooms. But if it's contaminated, even though it will produce mushrooms at first time, you're not going to be able to flush it and get another, harvest out of the cake. Because at that point, once the first flush is done, the mycelium just isn't growing as fast as it was before fruiting started. So it gives the bacteria or contamination time to take over the tub or bag. And then there's people that grow it outside, like mushrooms, like lion's mane and oak trees. Just, they inoculate the trees. I don't know how they do it. I know how they do it, but I don't know how they maintain a clean environment whenever it's outside and literally everything is outside. At least as far as contamination is concerned. I am having a really hard time. You know what? Work smarter, not harder, right, people? I'm a huge proponent of it, but I usually get halfway through the job before I realize the smarter part, or way to do it. Scissors, yeah. So obvious. Oh my god. Did you see that? Did you see how fast that was? You probably just watched me fiddle with this package for 20 straight minutes. Sorry about that. That couldn't have been too entertaining, but it did give me and Damon a chance to have a little conversation. And yeah, like cleanliness is probably, I was going to say in my opinion, but I wasn't going to pull a Peggy Hill on y'all. Cleanliness is the most important part of mycology. Alright. And this one is Reshi. And I do believe, I don't know a super whole lot about this one, but I think I read that this is more of a relaxation, like sleep style, sleep aid. That's what people use it for. And the company that I'm partnered with, they specialize in CBD products, and they do a little bit of kratom too, I believe. But I know that their main source of revenue is CBD products, and we're going to create a line of products that combine CBD with the different mushroom strains. So yeah, keep an eye on this channel, and eventually I'll be, advertising it. It'll probably be a few months, but in the meantime, I will be documenting the process and, the stuff I'm doing with the farm. And if you keep up with the channel, you will be the first to know about the products. I've never got that. When doing it inside, it has to be so clean. Yes. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, the people that do that, like, I genuinely think I have a green thumb. But those people that grow mushrooms outside, they have like a green body, a green soul. I don't know if that analogy makes sense or not, but it's crazy. Just sub. Thank you. You know what? You seem like a perfectly reasonable, well put together, rational person. I am going to add you as a moderator. Can manage blocked words. And I guess just a standard moderator. If you want like content moderator, I'll give you that too. Like, if you want to ban words, not America. America has freedom of speech. My chat is a sovereign country, and only speech I approve of is allowed. You can already see. In about a month, that little clump of mycelium at the bottom right there will just be half of the jar. It'll look like a huge clump of mycelium. And this right here, once it colonies and get that big clump of mycelium, this is 30 of these. And it took, just that 10 milliliters to inoculate that jar. So theoretically, that could make over 300 more jars. This could make 9 more jars. I find that really fascinating. That you can take the mycelium that's already alive, it's already growing, it's already, flourishing, right? Is that the word? And you just take it and introduce it to a new environment where it gets to thrive again and grow more. And it keeps, if you have some really good genetics, like a certain strain or, what is it? It's not strain and it's not species. But, if you have a particularly good batch of lion's mane and it fruits like huge mushrooms and everybody loves it, and the people that use lion's mane as like a seafood substitute for vegetarians and vegans, if you grow some lion's mane that really, really simulates that seafood texture, you would want to create one of these jars so that instead of starting with spores, because every time 2 spores meet and start producing mycelium, that's new genetics. That's like a new strain of mushrooms. Even if, you got mushrooms that are growing in a monotub, and you take spores from one of those mushrooms in the monotub, whenever those spores meet and start producing mycelium, that's new genetic code. So whenever you got a strain that's like really, really grows quick, people like the way it tastes, you can keep those genetics going. I'm not explaining this very well, but it's really cool stuff. And when it comes to running a business, you want the best. Like, if people were telling you, hey man, that last batch of lion's mane, it genuinely tasted like a freaking imitation crab. But we know it should taste like imitation crab. It genuinely tasted like crab. It's like, okay, I'm going to keep growing that specific strain for the gourmet mushrooms. And if I grow another batch of lion's mane and someone tells me, oh my God, I was so creative in that last D&D session. It was like my creativity was on fire. It was like everything was sparking and all the gears were turning, and I had a really good time playing D&D on that lion's mane. I'd be like, okay, then I'm going to take that lion's mane and create a jar of culture of that strain for my medicinal mushrooms. So then I'll have a strain of gourmet mushrooms, lion's mane mushrooms, but it's a strain that's best for food, eating. And then there'd be the medicinal strain, which would be good for creativity. That's the plan. That's the plan. That's what I'm planning on doing. Let me see. I'm from the UK. Thank you for making me a moderator. I am genuinely interested. Awesome. I still got more to learn. So we can learn together, I see this as a learning experience for myself as well as anyone that's watching. I'm the type of person that I very much realize that I will never know everything. It's quite literally impossible. But some people, they get to a place when they decide, okay, I know everything I need to know about this subject. I'm not like that with any subject. Like, I could always learn more. And more information is always, or new information is always coming out. And whenever I receive new information that is backed up by studies or peer review, whatever else, my opinion changes. I take that new information and I apply it to the way I think and the way I operate. People that don't do that drive me crazy. But I think I'm going to call it there for today. I've been doing this for an hour and a half, almost. Darcy, my beautiful little corgi, she probably wants some food. I know I do. So thank you for everyone that joined me today. Damon, I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you actually taking the moderator's role. And like, I don't think you're going to abuse it. You seem like a really cool person. I love that you're from the UK. We got this not universal, international audience going over here, and I hope we just keep expanding. Hyphaenation, the name of my company. I don't know if the people here know what hyphae are. Hyphae are like mushroom roots. You know, like hyphae are to mushrooms what roots are to regular plants in your garden. So the company name, Hyphaenation, that's like mushroom roots spread throughout the nation. You get it? Yeah, you do. You're smart. So if I can turn it into Hyphae Global, that would be amazing. But that'll be a while. So stay tuned. Stay subscribed. We might get there, guys. Hyphae Planet. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. I'm going to go do that right now.